We can think of this Atwood machine as an entire system instead of two separate bodies. You get these two things that are, these two masses act as one object. And so when these two masses act as one object, there are internal forces and there are external forces. That force of tension, that's going to be your internal force because that's inside of our object, of our system. But what is outside? Well, the outside piece is gravity pulling down on the second mass and gravity pulling down on the first mass. So if acceleration is the net external force over the sum of the masses, or the mass of the system, we need to figure out what this net external force is. Well, that's the force of gravity on 1 is an external force, and the force of gravity on 2 is an external force. Just like before, though, we need to decide which way is positive and which way is negative. I'm going to choose the same direction. I'm going to choose up here as positive and down here as positive. I know that that seems weird, but since these two things are moving together, that's actually the same direction, even though one is up and one is down. I know it's wild and wonky. And so if up here is positive, then the force of gravity on 1 will be negative. And if down here is positive, then the force of gravity on 2 will be positive. These are our external forces. So we have Fg2 minus Fg1 over m1 plus m2, the mass of the system. Substituting in then just mass times the second mass times the gravitational field strength minus the first mass times the gravitational field strength over the sum of the masses. This is looking pretty much the exact same as this is over here. We'll just pull out our gravitational field strength, m2 minus m1 over the sum of the masses. If this is easier for you, cool. That's great. But the one thing that you need to make sure you're doing is starting here with F net external over the mass of the system and showing the work to get to here. It's less work, you still need to show it. You can't just go straight to the acceleration because where did that come from? How do you know? And so making sure that you show your work, you justify your process. If this in red doesn't make sense, don't do it that way. Do it the black and purple way. Find the system of equations by summing the forces on each body and then putting them together.